You know that moment when you open your bank app and instead of bracing yourself, you actually feel calm? You're not doing mental math. You're not wondering if buying coffee today will cause stress tomorrow. You're just, okay, that feeling doesn't come from being rich. It comes from crossing a very specific financial line. And no, it's not $1 million. It's not even six figures. For most people, that line is around $20,000. Here's why that number changes everything. Most money advice talks about how much you'll need someday. But what really matters is what money does to your thinking right now. Below a certain point, money controls your attention. Every decision is defensive. Every problem feels urgent. Every plan is short term. Above that point, money becomes a tool. You stop reacting and start choosing. And the shift isn't slow. It's sudden. When you don't have savings, your brain stays in survival mode, not growth mode, not opportunity mode, just survival. You take jobs you don't like because you can't afford to wait. You stay in situations you hate because leaving feels risky. You say yes when you want to say no because you need the money. It's not a motivation issue. It's biology. Your brain cannot plan the future while it's busy putting out fires. But something interesting happens once you build real breathing room. When you have a few months of expenses saved, which for most people lands around $20,000, life stops feeling fragile. A car repair becomes annoying, not terrifying. A medical bill becomes manageable, not catastrophic. A bad month doesn't turn into a financial spiral. That margin alone changes how you show up in life. And then there's the part most people underestimate. The first 20,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save. Not because the math is complicated, but because you are doing all the work. Every dollar requires discipline, saying no, tracking spending, choosing long-term stability over short-term comfort. But after that first milestone, things begin to shift. Your money starts helping you. Progress accelerates. Momentum builds. Results improve even though your effort stays the same. You're no longer pushing forward inch by inch. You're finally moving with momentum. And honestly, the biggest win here isn't financial. It's identity. Saving $20,000 proves something to yourself. That you can delay gratification. That you can stick to a plan. That you control your money, not the other way around. That identity quietly shapes every future decision. Not because you force it, but because desperation is gone. Here's another subtle change that happens around this point. You stop obsessing over small expenses and start caring about big decisions. When money is tight, you debate every coffee, every grocery item, every tiny purchase. Those decisions drain mental energy. When money is stable, your focus shifts to what actually matters. Where you live, what you drive, how much you save, where you invest, how you grow your income. That clarity is incredibly freeing. And this is where your career starts to change. When you live paycheck to paycheck, every job feels high stakes. You can't negotiate, you can't push back, you can't leave. But with savings, the power dynamic shifts. Even if you never quit, you speak differently. You carry yourself differently. You stop tolerating nonsense. Ironically, that confidence often leads to better opportunities, more respect, and higher pay. Not because you demanded it, but because you stopped needing approval. Now, this is where many people make a mistake. They hit 20,000, feel the relief, and immediately spend it. A new car, a big vacation, a lifestyle upgrade. That money isn't a reward. It's infrastructure. Spend it and you reset the clock. Protect it and you unlock compounding, financially and mentally. Here's a hard truth most people avoid. Many people will spend more on cars over their lifetime than it would take to build real financial freedom. Monthly payments feel normal. Opportunity cost stays invisible. But once you build a solid financial base, your thinking changes. You stop asking, can I afford the payment? And start asking, what is this costing my future? That single shift can add decades of freedom to your life. So no, $20,000 won't make you rich. But it will move you from fragile to stable, from reactive to intentional, from surviving to building. And once you cross that line, you'll never think about money the same way again.